Good evening, friends. I'm Stephen Walker. This is episode 22 of Living Local. Thank you for joining me. As always, we got a lot to get to tonight in the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. Chris from the Lacrosse Sports Show will be in to talk about the sports show. It's happening right now as we speak, running through this Sunday at the Lacrosse Center. Then I'm going to talk with Trevor Hagan, Grammy Award nominated Trevor Hagan. He and his good friend Joe Westerlin have formed a duo, and that duo has put out an album. They'll be performing at the Pump House Regional Arts Center next Friday, February the 20th. Trevor's going to talk about that show and a whole lot more. We'll get the weekend weather outlook in here, and I'll see if you got a minute. But first, we start where we always do with the Amundsen's Appliance Week That Was. For more than 30 years, the St. Clair Health Mission in La Crosse has provided care and medication for the poor and uninsured. As the demand for that kind of care has risen, so has the need for improvements and more space for that operation. Now, St. Clair Health Mission is preparing to move to a new building while continuing to provide accessible health care.
We've known for some years that we really needed an expanded clinic and a newer clinic with larger exam rooms, more exam rooms, and grown to really need office space for some of our staff.
The $3.2 million facility has mostly been paid for by community donations and will continue to serve people who are struggling to get by before health care costs creep in.
We serve the folks that are working full-time, often multiple jobs at, $10, $12, $13 an hour, no way to afford health care or medications. So as more sweeping healthcare changes take place, it's more important than ever to support those folks.
With healthcare costs continuing to rise, St. Clair's believes it's more important than ever to expand the facilities so they can serve as many people as possible.
We serve, in clinic proper, about 50 patients a week, another probably 30 to 40 with our mobile, and then, another 30 to 40 with our team of community health workers and our mental health therapists. So having a larger space helps us to see more people. We're working also as part of this capital campaign to recruit more medical providers.
Construction of the new clinic is expected to be completed by July. We were given a positive update on the progress of the Chippewa Valley Cooperative Hospital in Chippewa Valley. The hospital is expected to open its wound care services within the next few weeks. The last update we received was when the hospital opened the Cancer Center in early November. Staff say they are working as fast as they can to get the facility up and running. The demand for health care in the area was extremely high and has been since HSHS pulled its services out of the area.
People are getting older. I think people are pushing off healthcare at this point a little bit more than they had previously. And with the changes in the Affordable Care Act, I think it's just going to get worse, frankly, and people are going to be sicker as they come in. So we're going to need these beds more and more over the next 6 to 8 months, and it's really critical that we get this place open back up.
Officials with the Chippewa Valley Health Cooperative are hoping the facility will be a fully functioning hospital within the year. The Pablo Center in Eau Claire received some pretty big news when a government funding package passed. The center was awarded a $900,000 grant for their STEAM youth education program. STEAM is just like STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEAM adds an A for art. The Pablo Center is one of only 5 organizations in western Wisconsin earning support through Senator Tammy Baldwin's funding package.
It's huge. When we look at our educational programs and really all the things that we do for the community, the demand is great. There are waiting lists for all of our educational programs. The need is out there. We absolutely know that. Without this, we wouldn't be able to grow or kind of try to fill that gap.
Beyond youth education, Frederick says the funding will help support their Open Doors and Vetics program, which connects veterans and families in need with free tickets to Pablo Center performances. Every year around the Super Bowl, churches in Neillsville hold their Super Bowl Challenge. It's a friendly competition to benefit the Clark County Food Pantry and Resource Center.
It's just part of the mission. The church is outside the building, not inside the building in our reserved seats.
Scripture tells us that we are to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, house the homeless. This is the worship that God requires of us. And this is how we do it.
This year's contest featured Calvary Lutheran, United Church of Christ, Living Hope, and St. Mary's Catholic. Trust me, the competition, while friendly, was far more fierce than that on the field.
Last year, somebody tried to cheat and wanted me to give them a number so they could down to the grocery store and get another bag of cans. But I didn't do it.
The program started in 2014, and donations have increased from 120 cans to thousands of non-perishables in recent years.
This is one of the programs that keeps us going throughout the year. It might last 4 months if we're lucky, but oh boy, 4 more months of food is really, really important.
The food donations help in multiple layers, from providing meals to elevating costs towards rent or home payments.
The biggest need in our community, and I think in all communities right now, is funding to help people stay in their homes.
We want to make sure that people are provided for and that food is not the decision of will I pay rent, will I buy medicine, or will I have food for my children.
As donations continue coming in, the competition gives everyone in Neilsville, even the non-football fans, something to cheer about.
We look forward to Super Bowl now. I don't like football, but I sure like soup.
That has been the week that was. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Lacrosse Sports Show happening at the Lacrosse Center this weekend. Stick around. The Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week is next on Living Local. Welcome back to Living Local and the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. I'm joined by Chris from the Lacrosse Sports Show. How many years have we been doing this?
48 years.
That is wild. It seems like every year there's something new or something bigger. What are the big changes that you have seen ushered in?
Well, every year, like you said, we bring in different features, entertainment. So that's always fun. It's always fun to see the new exhibitors, the new products, the show specials. That's what I look forward to every year.
Yeah. This year, of course, we've got the campers and the boats and all of the sport and travel that's out there. Mm-hmm. What are some of the highlights as far as presenters go this year?
I would say that we have a great variety of fishing and hunting seminars, travel experts doing some seminars. We have the Raptor show this year, and that is a really good show, so people are going to really love that. We have Mad Dog and Merrill. Everybody loves their grilling presentations. And then we have the Parakeet Landing that, the kids love, families love, and free face painting for the kids, the trout pond. It's just, I love about this show. What I love most about this show, I would say, is hearing people say that it's become a tradition for them with their families and that they've brought their, young children and now they're grown and they're bringing their children. So that's always fun to hear those stories.
I believe that, honestly, because anytime that you've gone down there, last year I had the pleasure of taking my nephew down there with us, so he got to experience the parakeets and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But anytime you go down there, it is wildly full of joy. There's children around every corner having just fun and experiencing it all. All of the accoutrement is going on. Where can we find a schedule of what's going on?
Go to lacrossesportshow.com. Under the entertainment button on the left-hand side, it'll show all the times for all the features, seminar speakers, and that's where you're going to get a lot of your information. And then the exhibitor list is printed on there as well, or shown on there. All the information, lacrossesportshow.com, how to get tickets. You can come back a second day for free because we have a lot going on that all you have to do is sign up on the way out and come back the next day. So
that's what I was going to ask you next. It seems daunting to fill every corner of the Lacrosse Center from both South Hall all the way to the main hall. Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
Just a lot of returning vendors. And this year, I will say that we have a full house, packed house. So every square inch, even in the lobbies, are completely full. We've got a lot to see this year.
Yeah, like you said, Raptor show, which, by the way, what is that? What is that? The big birds? Is that what that is?
Yeah, and there's a lot of famous birds that he's got on display. So if you see a bird in a commercial, it's probably one of his birds, one of his raptors.
There was just a raptor in one of the big game commercials, the Anheuser-Busch ones.
I wouldn't doubt that it was his because he does a lot of movies. He does a lot of commercials. But it's a really good show. I would encourage, families to come out, anybody to come out and see this show. It's really entertaining.
Absolutely. So you got the Raptor Show, you got Mad Dog and Merrill, you've got hunting, fishing, traveling experts of all sorts, parakeet landing, the boats, the campers, the everything going on this weekend. If you go one day, which they did open today, but it runs through this weekend. If you go one day, sign up, you can come back the next day for free, or any of the days that are left, right?
That's correct.
Get all the info. What's the website again?
lacrossesportshow.com.
lacrossesportshow.com. You'll see my family there this weekend. Chris, thank you so much. This is Living Local and the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. Feeling drafts this winter? Might be time for new windows from the Board Store Home Improvements. Improve comfort, reduce energy costs, and enjoy a quieter home. Let the experts help you start your project. Call today. The Board Store Home Improvements. Improving your home, improving your life. Welcome back to Living Local. I'm Stephen Walker. I have to tell you, when I see a weather forecast like this one, I start thinking about Ethel Waters. We're having a heat wave, baby. A tropical heat wave. Here's your weekend weather outlook.
We're going to have a very warm weekend ahead, which I'm sure most of you have been looking forward to. This is kind of like your first fall spring that you're going to see of the year there. Sunny and warm on Friday to start off your weekend, just below 50 degrees. And Saturday, you'll reach into the low 50s with mostly sunny skies, and it gets even better. You'll see mostly sunny skies once again on your Sunday, lower 50s. Not much of a better weekend can be projected there. Now, Futurecast, let's break that down. Pretty boring, not too much to talk about. You'll have some clouds move in at times. But look at this Friday night. Gonna be a nice one out there. Pretty clear skies. That continues right into noon on Saturday. We're going down into the valley. You could start to see some cloud cover make its way in here, looking clear farther up to the north. And then 8 p.m. clearing out once again. You might have some really light overcast, but don't expect too much from that. And then moving in towards Sunday, again, just a clear day here that continues right into your evening. Can't ask for a much better weekend as far as cloud cover goes. For your highs, let's take a look at this. We're seeing lower 40s farther up north, upper 40s as you look down to the south here, 48 in La Crosse. Then moving into Saturday is where we're going to break that 50-degree mark as we look towards Black River, and farther down below you'll see 53 as a high in La Crosse. And then Sunday, again in those lower 50s. Farther up to the north, you'll be around the upper 40s, so make the most you can of that first fall spring. Back to you guys.
Coming up Friday, February the 20th, there is a special concert coming up at the Pump House Regional Arts Center, The Nunnery and Westerlin Hagen. Now, Westerlin Hagen is a duo of jazz ambient pop tunes, born of two men who have been friends for over 30 years, Joe Westerlin and Trevor Hagen. I have the pleasure of talking to Trevor today about the upcoming show. You're from Eau Claire, is that correct?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Eau Claire, and I live there now. And I've been out of Eau Claire for a long time too, exploring the world, doing things, and I have a PhD that I got from doing a PhD in England, and I've lived in Japan and a lot of other countries.
How does one go from because it's an inspirational story, you know, Trevor, you're doing what you love and you've got to do it on such a grand scale.
Oh, thanks so much. That's really kind to say. I think I went abroad in about 2003 and I came back in like 2017. So I had a good run abroad, and I became very taken by like my part of my expertise, you could say, is about rock and roll in Eastern Europe during communism. And so I was really deep into, I could tell you whatever you want to know about rock and roll in Czechoslovakia in the 70s and 80s. No kidding. And so I spent a lot of time over there, and I found a lot of these musicians over there to be very inspirational for why they were playing music, what it was doing for their groups of people they're together with, and what it meant in the long run of being under a certain system during that time. Even if you don't understand it, we're processing something when we're listening to music, reading books, and I think it's just really important now to keep those connections to your other humans around you through art. And it's silly to say, but I learned that a lot when I was studying all that stuff in Eastern Europe, and particularly is the importance of art and music to just feeling humanity, because it can be taken away from you in strange ways you don't know about sometimes. So I think it's been nice to, I think, playing more music nowadays to find a lot of purpose in it. And the purpose is like coming to Pump House. It is about the event and the show and releasing an album, but it's about the bigger thing of getting everyone in the room. This is about being together and enjoying music. I think there's a lot to say for just that nowadays. And so I'm happy to be, I'm just happy to be part of, be able to do that, in my life right now.
Communal experiences, and it's kind of beautiful to feel the friendship between you and Joe that's at the center of that. What do you love about Joe Westerland's music?
1,000 things that are so hard to even put a name to. It's about his feel. It's about the decisions he makes with the sounds that he has around him. If you look at Joe, if everybody comes, look at the kit he has made, and it's not a typical drum kit, and I think just that, similar how I was exploring without a mouthpiece and trumpet, Joe's done the same thing with drums. And I think that's why I think we both dialogue together so well, is that we've kind of taken non-traditional paths with our music, and only now are we bringing those together. So Joe's decisions he makes, the grooves, the feel he has, and a lot of it is really based on, I would say, I don't know if he would agree with this, but he can say it better, of course, is, I don't know, very, not, how can I say it? I'll say traditional rhythms and patterns, but he's studied rhythms from clave patterns that have, come from Africa to the West Indies to here, it's such old terms, West Indies, but he's studied how culture has traveled, and where it's gone through and who's played it. And he's, studied his rhythms deeply. And so when he plays, he's channeling something. He's not playing like a part that maybe other drummers might play for a song. He's doing something that's you can feel it when you're playing with him, because it's more eternal and less linear, I guess, is the way I feel it. It's music. Maybe we're all going in circles rather than forward. But you want to be going in circles. That's yeah. Or it's a different type of feeling of how he experiences time.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of music making shape, right? And like either it's an arduous climb to this shape, or it's an easy drift into it, or whatever it is. So, and your music feels like that. What you guys have created together feels like that journey to somewhere.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, something, and it really, all these songs are improvised, and somehow we will come to a spot, and we both just kind of know where to go with it. And I think that is, we both reflect on this a lot. We both also went to UWEC, which means that, and we grew up very near each other. So like the first 20 years of our life, we lived in the same 2 miles of each other. So there's something about that for a long time, we were in the same area. I think obviously that comes out in the music, but certainly getting on the same page, that helps.
For sure. Yeah. Roots, they run deep.
Yeah. And so I think we are trying to celebrate that aspect of the music as much as we can, and the importance of that.
February 20th is when it happens. The doors, my friends, will open at 6:30. The show starts at 7. Come on down, over, up, wherever you're at. Come to La Crosse, February 20th. It's a Friday night. It's a good time. What we're hearing right now is maybe something you might catch that night. It is Liberation Bells from Westerland Hagen. On our way out, this is Living Local, friends. That'll do it for this episode of Living Local, episode 22, if you can believe it. We have been putting on a locally produced, shot, and edited half-hour lifestyle program for 22 consecutive weeks. That's just 2 weeks shy of 6 months worth of programming. We continue to grow and evolve and expand into whatever this thing is supposed to be. I am in absolute awe, not just of the potential we have, but how far we've come and what we're capable of with a brand new crop of talent that's joining the fold. In the very recent future, you will see segments and content and different stuff coming from 2 brand new members of the team and a veteran member of the team that is now doing some digital content producing for us. I can't wait to see what we learn from Anne-Marie, Alex, and Joey in the coming months and years. Now, if you got a minute, I have to talk about my nephew, Lucas. I get to enjoy the absolute gift of having him and his mom, my sister, live with my wife and I, and we are one happy, non-traditional family with a heart that exceeds its diminutive 3-year-old sized frame. His laugh is the soundtrack to joy, his smile thaws the coldest of moments, and his hug can fill you with every good thing the world is made of. By doing nothing more than existing, he's taught me more lessons than I can count and has shown me my place in the universe. I'm a firm believer that someone else has always said it better, and Tony Sly said everything that I'm feeling about my nephew. I'm learning every time he does. I will always be his best friend, and buddy, you will always get to ride in Unkie's car. Now, I know, he's my nephew, and this seems like an abuse of privilege. I started all of this by saying I was proud of the 22 episodes we've done and that we have a lot of new stuff coming with new team members, only to hit you over the head with some flowery words about a toddler that you don't know. However, the two are kind of connected. He's what all of this is for. Lucas is why I keep moving and why I keep trying. My wife is on that list, my family and friends as well, but right there at the top is a little dude that wakes me up by stating, not asking, that I want to read him a book. Lucas is why I want to share the positive news in the world with you. He is why I keep showing off all of the impressive and incredible people of our area and how unbelievable capable they are. He's the reason I breathe, the reason I keep going, and he's most assuredly one of the main reasons why I take so much pride in what we're trying to do here. The world can be really dark, and it can be really daunting. We can't stop paying attention to the heaviness of it all, and we can't escape the stress that everyone lives under in these, yet again, unprecedented times. But what we can do is remember who we are trying for, why it's so important to keep a light on for them, and what kind of a world we want to give them. I want to show how special it is right here, that the arts are worth fighting for, that there is a strength in caring about others. Next week on Living Local, we're going to celebrate Black History Month by having members of the La Crosse Public Library and archivists, as well as their guests, stop by to have conversations about the history of La Crosse and some historic African Americans of the Coulee region, as well as, like I said, significant issues and moments throughout the history of Western Wisconsin. For now, I'm going to leave you. This has been Living Local. I'm Stephen Walker. Bye now.